All right, so we're looking at, let's see, the end of June 4th. Pretty good day. So highlights for the day was finished the vlog updates. So that took a lot longer than normal. Uploading to YouTube, apparently there's not I guess there was a way unable to go from Google Photos to YouTube, but I guess they killed that whole vibe. So I found a way to upload those, put those in. I have 16 of them so far. This one will be 17, and I gotta start finding a day to push it out. So I've been pushing out this calendar of posts a little bit to try and set up the calendar of when I'm going to post when. I've been pushing it out because I want to get those videos uploaded in there so that way I can incorporate those into the schedules of posts. So tomorrow I'm either going to start on a website or a schedule of posts. Maybe I'll do the schedule of posts over the weekend. That way I can just focus. And we need like a full day to kind of map out that what I want to schedule and just start putting in two things a day, boom, 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 to be able to help out. So that was good. I found, did some research into Podbean, and apparently they do not automatically push, like for example Anchor does, automatically pushes to the other podcast platforms. Or not that I've seen, maybe it's a setting or something like that that I have to turn on, but I haven't seen that. But it seems to be relatively easy. You just go to the podcast app, claim the podcast, and then upload it with the RSS feed that all comes from the Podbean, and you just push it out there that way. And so every single time you go to the one platform, it pushes out. So I have that saved, so that way I can push it to different things. So I just need to get a list of the major players in the podcast space and then push to there. Already live on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts right now, which of course is probably the big three. So that's helpful that those are already live. But I need to get on some of the other ones too. Just, more visibility, the better. And put some of the old questions into the Airtable. So for every co-creator that comes in, I propose like 3 different questions and 3 different like themes and or topics that they might be interested in, and that way they have a choice in which one that they get to pick from. So it kind of builds that investment for them, which is helpful because then it gets them involved in creating the show, hence co-creator, and so they get to decide which one they want to pick from, talk about, and go through. So that's helpful. And then so what I've been doing is using the cutting room floor as potential other themes and or topics for other people. Not to say that only one person can only talk about one thing, because I can bring back co-creators, if they want to do another one at a later date. We can always do that. So taking those two or three other questions and adding them back into the potential topics has been helpful to try and create, because I'm trying to create all the themes and all the questions off the top of my head. And so after a while, when you're looking at this every day, finding problems to be able to tackle with people can be challenging. Your brain just exhausts itself. There's plenty of stuff out there, but to get good questions can be cumbersome. Also today, recorded an episode with Tom, which was cool. That one was really a good time. It was kind of exactly how I wanted an Ideaprov to go. I mean, we didn't have the large, crazy back and forth aha moment, which I don't know if I'll ever get with just 2 people. I think we'll have to look at that more towards like a live stream, which we can get 3, 4, 5 people involved. That way we can really ping pong the ideas. But Tom is a super sharp dude and very grounded and down to earth. So he picked up stuff really quickly, got about 40 minutes of content, probably ended up chopping it down, probably gonna be about 30, 35 of a podcast. But he was really good at it, grasped it, and we went back and forth, which was really nice. So I know it can be done by some people. Let's see, learnings today. Good control. And I found that in regards to the manual setup for the RSS feeds. That gives you really good control over what's put out there on what individual platform and whatever. So just think about it whenever you decide to make one. I think it'll be helpful to do your research and kind of know the back end, although listening to this hopefully will help. Going through it and seeing how things are connected will really make you feel comfortable with how you're executing your project. Second learning is, once you find those extra questions, it's really helpful to recycle some of the product. So any little bits and pieces of information that you can find that you want to use. So for me in this, it's the questions that don't get used when I give it to a co-creator, the information that isn't used. I can then cycle that back in for somebody else at a later date, because I already know I've put in the thought into the question. Now I just have to assign a different person to that particular topic to chat about it. I really want to get some sidebar. I really want to get some user submissions to the questions, to the episodes, because I think that'll be engaging for people to see what they want to talk about. Ooh, that might be a social post. Just thought of that. A little aha moment. Social post on what people want to think about. I don't know how much engagement it will be, but at least it'll get people talking. It's all that works. Post it on LinkedIn or on Facebook. Hey, what do you want Ideaprov to talk about? What's a theme? What's a topic? What's a question that's always been on your mind? Let's attack it. And hopefully those people that want to talk about it can become a co-creator. Bing, bing, bing. See how that works? Nice. Thinking. So that was my second learning, is to use your cutting room floor. Always think of that other piece of information that might be able to be helpful or be used. Keep it on the back burner and don't just trash and get rid of it or forget it. And the last part is that once you find something as far as learning, it can be really fun. So after I've put all this together, I got off the phone with Tom after the recording, and I just kind of sat there and I was like, I enjoyed that whole experience, and it was like that's what it's about, you know, like finding something that you like to do. And then right now I don't think I'm exceptionally great at it, but I'm willing to put in the time to be great at it. And then if you find something that you like to do and you're good at it, you're in a pretty good space. So happy with that. So we'll get after it tomorrow. So our big learnings are good control over the RSS feeds, have fun with whatever you do, and the last one is don't forget to use any of your things that you might not need. Document it, keep it, save it. You can always come back to it and potentially use it for something else. All right, we'll catch you tomorrow.